do the next. If you fail, that's it. These are the stakes directly quoted from the official Studio Ghibli website. According to the website, no one believed Studio Ghibli was going to last. In fact, the people who worked on these globally recognized films weren't even employees. In the early stages of the company, a group of about 70 people showed up to one floor of a rental building to work on a movie, and when it was over, they all disbanded. This spirit and resilience are precisely why the company is so relevant today. Their films are unique, heavy-handed masterpieces on the power of passion and perseverance. After watching my first Studio Ghibli film, Howl's Moving Castle, I became obsessed with figuring out just how this company got to where they are and how the themes always seem to resonate despite the large differences in every movie created by them. The history of Studio Ghibli can be divided into two periods, the Tokuma Shoten period and the Independent period. So let's begin our history of Studio Ghibli in the early Tokuma Shoten period. Studio Ghibli's beginnings are rooted in the Japanese publishing company Toei Doga, where Isao Takahata and Hayao Miyazaki first met working together. Takahata was a Japanese director and Miyazaki was an animator, manga artist, screenwriter, and otherwise creative body. Studio Ghibli was eventually created over a decade after their meeting with the help of Tokyo-based publishing company Tokuma Shoten, and now added producer Toshio Suzuki. The first movie Studio Ghibli created was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind in 1984. The movie was based on an original manga by Miyazaki and was considered a success by the small company. However, this was only the beginning of the road for Studio Ghibli. Within the next 15 years, Studio Ghibli saw a string of successes that grew exponentially and internationally. The first of these milestones was the company's first real box office hit, Kiki's Delivery Service. Studio Ghibli reports that over 2.64 million people came to the theater to see the movie. According to My Modern Met, a website that curates articles on art, Kiki's Delivery Service became the #1 movie in Japan for the year 1989. The next big Miyazaki hit was Porco Rosso in 1992. My Modern Met mentions here that Porco Rosso topped Beauty and the Beast in the Japanese box office. Disney must have found out because in 1996, Studio Ghibli partnered with Disney to distribute their previous work along with their new movie, Princess Mononoke. Now with distribution, reputation, and Miyazaki's secret formula, 2001 was a breakthrough year. Miyazaki's next movie, Spirited Away, was released and completely exceeded every expectation. Not only did the movie set a new box office record in Japan, but it also won the 2002 Golden Bear Award along with the 2003 Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. This cemented a newfound perspective in the public perception of the company. According to the Studio Ghibli website, the Japanese economy was poor at the time, but the successful Studio Ghibli was considered a bright spot or hope of Japan. Along with the release of Spirited Away, the Mitaka Ghibli Museum opened in October of 2001. At this point, Studio Ghibli has clearly established itself. Now let's look at some of the effects of that in the company's independent period. Studio Ghibli became independent from Tokuma Shoten in April of 2005 and entered a new transitional era. Toshio Suzuki, the previous manager of Studio Ghibli and managing director of Tokuma Shoten, became the company's new president. The next film chosen for the studio was Tales from Earthsea. The film was directed by Goro Miyazaki, founder Hayao Miyazaki's son. Goro Miyazaki's background was in landscaping and he had no experience in anime. However, blood runs thicker than landscaping or something like that because Tales from Earthsea was the #1 Japanese box office hit in 2006. In 2008, Hayao Miyazaki then released another smash hit, Ponyo. After Ponyo, Miyazaki released an official 5-year plan to get a new young director on board. 2 years later, Arrietty the Borrower was produced by Miyazaki and debuted new director Hiromasa Yonebayashi. The following year, Goro Miyazaki directed another movie, From Up on Poppy Hill. On September 1st, 2013, Hayao Miyazaki announced that he was finally serious about retiring. In 2014, Suzuki retired from producer to general manager of Studio Ghibli. He announced that the studio would pause to figure things out after Miyazaki's announcement to retire. However, just like all the other times he has attempted to retire, Hayao Miyazaki cannot stay away from his studio. In 2017, Hayao Miyazaki came out of retirement to help with the studio's latest project, Earwig and the Witch, a full 3D CG animated film directed by his son Goro. Now, Hayao Miyazaki is confirmed to be working on a new movie titled How Do You Live, slated for 2023. This movie is completely hand-drawn 2D animation, the original animation style of Studio Ghibli. At this point, there is only speculation about the future of Studio Ghibli left. In summary, Studio Ghibli was created by three men who saw slow but steady success in the early stages of the company. They then partnered with Disney for distribution and received a Golden Bear Award and an Academy Award for their movie Spirited Away. Next, Studio Ghibli became an independent company with Suzuki as president. Then, Hayao Miyazaki endeavored on a 5-year plan to introduce a young new director to the company before he retired in 2013. These directors include his son, Goro Miyazaki. Finally, Hayao Miyazaki came out of retirement in 2017 to seemingly help as he wishes. I suppose Miyazaki himself is taking his own advice to succeed, do the next. Perhaps in order to sell something, you must first buy it yourself. Thank you, audience.